Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. I'm having a pretty good day, not too bad. Got my wood in, my exercises done, laundry, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm happy. Plus, I listened to a few videos this morning on my Facebook and on my community. I had shared a picture of a very large man wearing makeup. And then I started thinking back when I was 17 and I had met the father of my children. And well, through our marriage, we had always exercised together, and some of our aspirations were to go into senior bodybuilding together. They would have like teams and whatever. But even after our breakup, I started working out when I was a little kid. I don't even remember how little I was because my dad was a very active person, and we worked hard and we played hard, all kinds of sports. Like everything and anything, you know, like just everything. I couldn't even explain the amount of activities we did. That's how active I've been all my life. And then not just like for bodybuilding, like for building bulk, but to build the feminine body so the definition of my muscles stand out, which they do, brought me to thinking, what kind of competition? Say if I went into senior bodybuilding at 70 for a 70-year-old class, or maybe 80 or 75. What type of if it's woman class 70 years, or if it's like 70 plus or whatever their range, or 60 to 70, whatever they've got in those categories, what's my competition going to look like in the future if I choose to do that? Am I going to have to compete against a man that's never minastrated one day in his life and had no babies out of his body? Don't get me wrong. When I had my children, I wasn't fat after I had them, and I wasn't really very big when I was carrying them because I was really careful, you know. So, to get back into shape after I had them wasn't really a major big deal because I had been active even through my pregnancies, like swimming and hiking and all kinds of activities. In Well, not everything I would normally do when I wasn't pregnant, but like I was at one point I was painting like this A&W, and I would paint almost everything unless I had to be up on a ladder, and I was like 8 months pregnant, and you know and I also worked at a antique thrift shop, um combination. One side was a thrift store, the other side was an antique dealership, and um so I was a very busy person, is what I'm trying to say. So for all my efforts through my life and concentrating on what I'm doing, and yeah, I smoke. That's one thing that a lot of people were like, well, you do this, yes, and I can still probably outrun you or arm wrestle you or whatever, and if not beat you, give it one hell of a try. You know, that's my point. Why should I have to compete against a man in this world pretending he's a female when he's not? You know, that is an injustice. And these women that have lost like their scholarships or certain things for people pretending to be a female and winning a scholarship over a natural born woman, an unconfused human being that knows who she is. Eh, Um, to me, it's like, what's going on in our government? Aren't these women in our government? Maybe none of them are female. Maybe every single one of them are transgender, and they really don't care about my efforts in my life or what I've been through. Could care less. Who should merit in a competition that I just mentioned like that? Somebody that hasn't had a woman's body the day they were born until that moment, or somebody that has. Because I'm pretty dang proud that I have abs at my age after having children and everything else I've been through. So, yeah, I was thinking about it this morning and I thought, how rotten is that if I still choose to do what one of my aspirations were, that it would be, the cards would be stacked against me because somebody of pretend gender or somebody with darker or lighter skin or whoever that may be was selected because, not because of their abilities, but for what they appear to be. That's not cool at all. That's got to quit. So that leads me back to my question that I just asked. Who are these people that are in our government? Are they who they say they are? What does their birth certificate say? Like Camilla Harris. Is that Carl Harris? Dressed like a Carmilla? Who knows, right? She's got a pretty big neck. If you look at her neck, I mean, mine's a big neck, but it looks feminine. Go look at her neck one time. And I don't know. So that, you know, I don't know. I'm just asking, you know. And it is a valid question too. I'm going to share a JP Reacts. I think it was his. It could be on his Awaken channel, but I think it's on his JP Reacts. He shared a little video, a 6 minute video of a man competing in women's ice skating. Now, this thing couldn't even skate. I'm not kidding. I can skate, rollers or blades, but this thing went to like twirl and it fell. And then it couldn't even support its own weight on the blades and couldn't get back up. They came out there with flags around, like skating around him, and it is a him, to help pick it back up. That's a competition because they're pretending, and there was no grace in his skating at all. In fact, I've seen hockey players with more grace than that thing, and it looked ridiculous. It really did. Ugh. And I'm going to keep saying it because it's like I was watching. I gave my kitties some boxes to play in, and Doug's cat Bob and my little outdoor kitty I brought in that was busted up. She's doing better, but she kind of swatted at Bob. Even my male cat knows enough not to pick on that female cat. Even a kitty knows that a female kitty is a female kitty. Why don't men know these things? The cat can detect that he's bigger and more powerful than that little girl. They're relatively the same height. He outweighs her, just like Doug and I. I'm a little bit taller, but He's like 150 pounds bigger than me. His body, you know, it's a man's body. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, even my kitty knows better. So why don't these people, and why aren't the people in the government standing up? When that woman lost her scholarship for swimming and came in second place, and them girls in that locker room had to take a shower around a man or not even take a shower because they wouldn't around a man, do you blame them? Really, if it's your wife, your girlfriend, or your daughter, do you want them in a locker room with a man, all of them naked? That's so uncool on so many levels. So, happy Wednesday or Thursday, everybody. Cheers. So yeah, I'm not going to stop exercising or anything just because all this is going on. And maybe someday, because I figured when the kids are gone and all of them are busy living their own lives and whatever, maybe I'll just go do something that I've always wanted to do. Maybe not, but I might. It would include some traveling and whatever, but I might. You never know what the future holds in store, you know? So, what do you think? I think I know what you think, but if you have any ideas, like if you think there's some reason why it is fair that a man should compete against a woman in anything, let me know. I mean, it's not a game of chess, you know, these are physical activities. Even in a game of chess, with the way a lot of men think, and maybe women too nowadays, or whatever, or any day, but maybe they have like a combative nature anyway, and the sport of warfare, like even playing a game of chess, maybe that is their thing. I have no clue. I kind of like the game, but I like physical sports more than I do like playing a board game or something, But now once in a while I'll play like Candy Crush, or I haven't for some time now, but I do occasionally. I kind of like to switch up what I'm doing in my life, and that seems to keep things fresh, like if not to get stuck in one pattern of doing stuff, So I thought I'd give it a break, and last week I think I played one game, you know, but I used to play every day. But, it's different too when you're not feeling good. Like when I was all busted up and everything, what more am I going to do besides either play a game, watch videos, or read, So that's pretty much where I was limited to. But besides trying to just take care of myself through the day, and keep healthy. So it'd be like this is the correlation. Actually, that would be over 6 decades. I've looked forward to possibly doing something in the future that was exclusively for women in a woman's class. That may not be by the time I get around to it. It might not be now. I don't know. Talk about bulging muscles, you know, and that just really isn't right. It's not right at all, you know. When you even see a woman dive into a pool, there's a little more grace to it than there is a man. His takeoff at the start is a bit more powerful, you know. They have advantages physically. I don't know, ladies, speak up. You're the ones who bleed. Do you feel like competing against a man in your life? Do you feel like some man challenging you to a duel? That's what this world is actually coming to. Do you realize that? I'm telling you, that's what's happening. I've watched it. I've watched it change from where women and children were protected from the men, where, or, men would protect them, to where the women have to worry about protecting themselves in this world. I told my youngest son that we were talking, and he said, "Well, you're never going to be alone." And I said, "Well, you don't know that. You know, I have to keep strong. I don't know what I'm going to have to go through. I mean, I have faith that I'm going to be okay, but I just can't take for granted that I will be without any action on my part, you know. If I just curl up in a ball and die like a lot of women my age, and I'm not putting anybody down, but this is true. A lot of people hit like the 50-year mark and they think their life is over and they stop doing anything physical, and there they stagnate and rot like an old potato, you know. That's just not my thing. I don't think it's a very good idea either. If you're able to just sit there, don't do it. I wouldn't. I was listening to the Huberman Lab about exercise and health and burning fat and just about everything they said in there that was going to help you is what I do just naturally. Like quick movements and not sitting still and all these things that I know burn calories. Like I'll burn probably 2,000, maybe 2,500 more calories a day just because I'm hyper like that, because I use my adrenaline the right way, you know. So it was really interesting to hear what the scientists and other um, professionals in health have to say about, and he's a neuroscientist dealing with the mind and how your neurons react in your body and that type of thing. So it was super, super interesting. I did share that in my community. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm all about that. And like, once again, I know people are going to say, yeah, but this, oh, yeah, but whatever. I'm not somebody that's going to look at this and say, okay, that's going to take 10 years off my life. I don't think so. And I'm going to prove them wrong. I think you are what you think. That's my opinion. I might drop dead tomorrow. Highly doubt it. I know I'm going to live a long time, but because God wants me to, you know. But yeah, they'll people will use, it's like, okay, so I can maybe beat them in arm wrestling, and they're like horribly obese and borderline diabetic, but they don't smoke. But they sure have something to say about me smoking, won't they? They do too, and I've heard it so many times. It's yeah, but what? Yeah, that's what it is right there. It's disgusting, you know. I could go on about that overweight stuff, but I know people don't want to hear it because they just don't. Basically, a lot of people don't want to hear it. Maybe you can understand because maybe you're on the same kind of conscious about who you are, your appearance, you know. Um Not a vain thing, not an ego thing, but that's part of who you are, you know. And when I started exercising when I was a little kid, I had no clue what a ego was. That isn't what it was all about. For me, it never has been. It was just being as strong as my dad and my brother so they couldn't pick on me, and being stronger than my mom so she wouldn't. It was out of survival for me, you know. You know how I learned how to walk? By being pushed down. Then I kind of crawled to try and get away. A lot of people don't have memories of when they were little. I have very, very early memories that don't go away, you know. But that's the way that is. There's some things, I'll have to like push my mind to remember. It's usually with details of an article I've read or something. It's not something that's happened in my life. Um, I don't forget, you know. But elephants have the longest memory, so they say. And that's talking about the elephant in the room, the one that's not going to forget their dirty deeds, everything they did. No, I won't. I remember it all. But yeah, like I said, it's not an ego thing, but I thought, hey, if a person's strong and you've been forced to work hard all your life, might as well take advantage of it, right? Well, now I maybe won't be able to. What kind of a dirty dump of whatever on me or other people aspiring for that? What is that? You know, I was going to look into some senior bodybuilders and see what they're doing nowadays, um, like the age classes and different things. I used to know all these things, but I haven't really looked into it lately. But I wonder how those ladies and gentlemen are feeling about all this. I wonder if the men that are competing in couples with a woman, if they would want to compete with another man dressed like a woman. You know, this needs to stop, people. We need to nip this shit in the bud. This is not a woman. Will people stop calling these men pretending to be women women? Jesus Christ. My concerns are for the little people and the women on this planet right now that are not being defended by our government. That government, the where that happened in Massachusetts with that swimmer, I think it was um one of the eastern states anyway, for sure. The governor or the senator, the state senator should have jumped right in there and talked to the governor, and they should have went to that university, and they should have put the smackdown on all those people involved with that bullshit. It's a lie. It's dishonest. Not to even say how ungodly it is. And the woman that lost to a man, she swam all her life to compete against other women. She didn't swim competing against men. Do you see how important this is? You're not going to see, as a woman, you're not going to see how important it is until some man dressed like a woman comes up and punches you in your head or in your abdomen or something. Then you're going to feel like a woman, and you're going to feel like a beat down woman by a man that wants to normalize this type of shit in our world. That's what's going on. I hope I'm making this so clear that somebody besides me and a couple other people are actually talking about it, because a funny meme here and there, yeah, okay, that's just going to make people laugh. That's not going to take anything to the legislator. This isn't going to make any laws against these type of things. It's illegal. It's a lie. Isn't lying, isn't fraud illegal last time I checked? Isn't that fraudulent? Isn't it? A lie is dishonest. Yes or no? If they actually think they're female, that's a mental illness or evil. We can't prove the evil, but we can prove the mentally unbalanced part. And they want to make that so little people can choose what sex they want to be from who they're meant to be. It's a serious thing. Very serious. I hope you share this. I hope you like it. I hope you help me get this out here. Somehow, I hope in your town or your city or your state that you mention it to your legislators or people in positions that you can do something about it. Maybe in school board meetings or wherever your voice can be heard in the public, on your own YouTube channel or Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're at. Speak up. If you don't speak up, nobody else is going to. That's a fact. That's very true. I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you want your wife's sisters, daughters, mothers, grandmothers susceptible to men that are pretending to be women? Do you want your ladies in private places where men shouldn't be in there with them at their disposal to do and say anything they want to do to those women and girls, children? Give you a moment to think on that. I hope it didn't take a moment. I hope you realize the seriousness of it right now. You could say, well, women dress like men too. Um, I haven't really seen a whole lot of women trying to compete in men's sports. Um, and if they do, you know, they have the disadvantage typically. And we all know that's a true thing. Even, and I'll tell it like it is, I can combat Doug. If I got the jump on him, yeah. But if he grabbed me, I'd be hash browns. This is a fact. Here's a for instance, a long time ago, he pissed me off. And I was moving the refrigerator and I threw it at him and he threw it back across the room. This is the strength of what I'm talking about between us, but I am a little quicker and I'm a little more skilled in combat. But still, if he were to grab me and want to cause me harm, he could do that. And men are capable far over what women can do. And they know it, and the women know it too. So, what are you going to do to help me? Help the women on this planet? I want to know. I want to see somebody actually take what I've said and make it apparent out in this world that you're standing up for somebody besides yourself. Are you going to? I mean, I know some people do. If you're doing that, please, please, I am not trying to talk down to anybody. I am trying to make it stop. It's, I could see where there'll be a lot of people wanting to die on this planet because what's the use in living if you can't even feel like a female on your own planet, you know? And then why should anybody else have the right to live if you take the rights away from the original owner? Nah, you don't even deserve to live. That's the way I feel about these people because that's how they're feeling about me. So, and you, or not. The XYs stand up for the XXs. Come on now. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Just really take this serious and make sure everybody on the planet knows where you stand on this because this isn't the time for confusion and this isn't the time to cater to the ones that are pretending that they are confused for the agenda of the dark cabal. It's not time for us to sit back and just watch things unfold the way they want them to. It's time for us to stop this crap now. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at.